Well, we had some Facebook difficulties, so I'm recording this video on my phone as just a video, and then I'll stick it on Facebook when we're done. I couldn't even do it on YouTube because I don't have 50 short ones on there yet. There's some rule. I've got a few, but not enough. So we're going to record this podcast not live. I can go in and edit it if I want to, but I'm not going to, except the light's in my eyes, so maybe I'll just move a little closer. Anyway, so what's going on is a podcast that we're going to talk about scammers and hackers like we have in the past, but we're going to get into a little bit more detail because they're getting a little bit smarter in what they're doing. You'll hear the dog talking also because Longo likes to talk on the podcast too, but he has really nothing to say worth anything, so you can just laugh at him. If you are experiencing hacking on your Facebook account, I'd say about 75% of the problem is you. It's your fault because you friended a hacker. And how did that happen? You didn't vet the person. You didn't look at their profile. You didn't see who you clicked the respond button to accept that person's friend request, and that's your fault. The other reason it could be your fault is because you're friends with people that frequently are friends with hackers, and because of that, they have their friend directories data mined by these people, and they find you, and they take your information from there. But most commonly, it's because you did it. And there's ways you can avoid that, and I'm going to tell you how to do that in this podcast. The first thing you need to do is to not accept friend requests from anyone who doesn't have mutual friends with you. I mean, that's a big clue. If they don't have a mutual friend with you, then chances are they're just trying to get to know you, and you don't need to be friends with them. Or if it just have maybe one or two mutual friends with you, unless you really know that person, somebody maybe you met in a group and you had a conversation with, you don't need to be friends with that person. If your goal is to have 5,000 friends, remember quality is better than quantity, and you should not be friends with people just for the sake of having a high number of friends. Dog is digging a pit now. The goal of having a lot of friends creates the problem of you having a lot of really risky accounts in there, including dead people. I don't say that to be mean. I'm saying that because you shouldn't be friends with dead accounts unless you want to keep them for sentimental reasons. And those would be family members and people you know in real life. Or people that you are very close to. You shouldn't be friends with people that you just casually knew on Facebook who died. Because those accounts, the longer they stay out there, the more likely they are to be hacked. And we see it all the time. Because one of the big clues that you'll notice is they'll suddenly start saying on the man's account, her account. So-and-so changed her profile picture, and his name is Mark Benson. So you know that's not Mark Benson anymore. Mark Benson died in 2020, but you kept it because you kind of liked his post back then. No, you need to get away from that person. You need to get those people out of your profile. Take a couple of hours. It may take longer if you have a ton of friends, but take a couple hours and get rid of those people out of your profile. The other thing you need to do is make your profile so that only friends can see your friend directory. And they can only see the people that they are friends with. In other words, if I look at your profile and I'm friends with you, I should only be able to see the mutual friends I have with you. I shouldn't be able to see all your other friends. What's the purpose in that? If I get mad at you for some reason, which I wouldn't do this, but some people do this. If they get mad at you, they're going to data mine your friend directory, people that they don't know, and they're going to see who you're friends with. They may do something nefarious, I don't know. But if you friend somebody that you don't know very well, they're going to see all your friends. Why would you do that? Set your friends directory so that only friends are seen by friends. so that I can't see any of your friends that I'm not mutually friends with. Now, some people will set it so that no matter what, nobody can see any of their friends, not even their family. Nobody can see. Now, they may have reasons for that, but I don't like to do that because it makes you look suspicious. It makes people say, well, why can't I see any of their friends? I'm not going to friend that person. So the safest way to do it is to just make mutuals see mutuals. But if you get a friend request from somebody who has no mutuals with you, that's a big flag. You don't want to be friends with that person. So don't be friends with dead people. Don't be friends with people who don't have hardly any friends in common with you or none. And don't set your friend directory so that everybody can see all your friends, especially if people are just trolling through Facebook and they see you, and all of a sudden they just click on your friend directory and they can see everybody. Why? Why would you do that? This is, especially nowadays when security matters, you're going to do something like expose your whole self out there. Now, my posts are public. Not all of them, but a good portion of them are. I have reasons for that. Part of it is to promote my books. But part of it is to debate, because I like to debate on my wall. I don't care what my family thinks. I'm not connected to a lot of my family on Facebook because they're not on Facebook. But the ones that are, they don't care that I debate. They think it's funny. And sometimes they'll get into it. But they usually agree with me, so it doesn't matter. So you want to make your account safe. Now, there's other things you can do to avoid getting hacked right from the get-go. And one of them is to set up two-factor authentication. And it sounds hard, it's not. What that does is when you set up your Facebook account or when you log out and log back in, you have Facebook sends you a 6-digit number on your phone that you put into the account in addition to your password. And you can get your password back if you lose it. These people that have like 20 accounts because they keep losing their password, that's weird, because you can reset your password with Facebook. But this factor code, they send to you on your mobile phone so that somebody else can't get into your account if they're trying to from Libya or something, because only you can get that account because you have your phone. Also, what that does when you enter that code is it will tell you on your phone or another device like your iPad, somebody tried to get into your account using this device, and they'll say a Samsung phone in San Diego, California. And if that wasn't you, they'll ask you, was this you? And you can say, well, no, it wasn't. And then you know you have a problem. You need to change your password. And then they'll still send you the 6-digit code. So that code does a number of things. It protects your account in a number of ways. And I've never, ever been hacked, ever. So that code has protected me. I lost my Facebook account in 2020, back when Facebook wouldn't let you have more than one account because they thought, oh, people are duplicating themselves. But now they want you to have more than one account, 2, 3, or 4, because they count how good they are based on how many accounts they have on record, not how many people. So if each person has 3 or 4 accounts, that makes them look really good. And they no longer punish you for having a bunch of accounts. And a lot of reasons are for people to have different accounts, maybe for family, maybe for, different types of sites that you have. You have different friend lists for each one. Personally, the only reason I would have a different account, it would be for going into Facebook jail a lot. So I would use the alternate account if I did. And right now I don't have an alternate account, but it's a thought. But if you're going to have an alternate account, make sure that you set up safety mechanisms on both accounts. Another way to do it, and I have this, is facial recognition. So that if you log off of Facebook, you don't even need your password. You just look at your phone. Or on your iPad, you tap your face because it has your face there and it knows you. So you don't have to worry about remembering your password, and no one else can use it. Somebody picks up your iPad and says, I'm going to go on that Facebook account. They can't get in because they're not you, and it knows who you are. That sounds kind of creepy to some people because they're conspiracy wackos, but this is the way it is. You want things to be safe. Only you can be you. There's no chip inside your head. It's your iPad, it's your iPhone, and it knows a lot more about you than you ever want it to anyway. So why not just let it know your face? I mean, you use your finger for Apple purchases if you do that. So these are things that are to protect you from the creeps who live in third world countries, because those are usually where the hackers are, because they want money. And that's their goal, is to make friends with you, message you, act like they like you, and ask you for money. And by saying, oh, there's a check waiting for you at your bank, and it's $40,000, and they really want to give it to you. And I got my check, by the way, and they want to give you your check. So we just need some information. They want your bank information. Believe it or not, people are really stupid, and they do give this information. So you don't want to give them the information. About 1 in every 4,500 people will do it. So it's worth them to set up an internet cafe somewhere in, let's say, Lagos, Nigeria, and have 20 people constantly working the messenger systems, because every once in a while somebody's going to get a hit, and they're going to get a bank account, and they're going to get your money. And it happens all the time. So be careful. Warn your relatives. Warn your gullible relatives, because they're the ones who are going to fall for it the most. If it's happened to you, I'm really sorry. But if you happened once, don't ever let it happen again, because fool you once, shame on you. Fool you twice, shame on you twice. That's a better way to say it. So data mining is the word that's used when people take stuff out of your account. And it can be pictures, it's usually photos, and they'll use those photos to set up what is called a clone account. I know a guy on Facebook, Mike Williams. I have 2 Mike Williams that are friends. But this Mike Williams, unfortunately, they keep cloning his account, and it's not his fault. This is one of those people where it's not his fault. They've just taken his account, and they make the exact duplicate of his photo, of his profile, and his background picture, and they've made a new Mike Williams account. And I don't know what they're going to use it for, but they want to use it for something. How we know it's not Mike Williams? He may send you friend requests. You may be his friend. Do not friend him. Ask him, is this you? That's what I did. Because it'll say, Mike changed her profile picture. Come on, just take a look. It doesn't take long to take a look and see. But if you don't, you're hurting yourself and Mike, because it's now happened to him again. I guess the first one did fail, so they tried again. And I don't know if I actually had a picture here of what they did to him. I took some pictures, which I'm going to show you soon, of what people have been doing. No, I don't have one of him. But he does podcasts, and this is not a good thing for him to have to experience. But it's probably somebody like what I'm doing. They are going to look for me. Fortunately, my name isn't my name per se, because I put some letters in front of it. So people will find you, and they'll find ways to get at you. Just protect yourself and tell your friends, if somebody clones you, hey, I did not set up a new account. That's not me. And put that on your wall. If they do it, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. But you can report it in Messenger that it's not you to Facebook. Sometimes they'll do something, sometimes they won't. That you'll get better results if you report a fake profile in Messenger than you will on Facebook itself, because they really don't care if you report a Facebook profile as fake, because they want more profiles. They don't care if they're fake. And we're going to show you some fake ones in a couple of minutes here. But let's talk about what hackers do if you do friend them, what they look like, why you should avoid these people, and why your friends should avoid these people, and what you can do to help your friends who already did it. Because sometimes it's not their fault. They friended a person, the person went AWOL on Facebook, and all of a sudden somebody else took over the profile. And how you can tell is there's a lot of posts that are tagging different people, and you never see that original profile person reacting or in the tag or tagging anyone themselves. It's somebody different. Sometimes it's a really crazy weirdo name doing it. But they've gone, and suddenly the person you're friends with is not there anymore, but you're part of this new person's network. And you got to be careful of that. Otherwise, you've got people that are hacking into your profile because you friended them, or your friends did, and they're going into your friends' directory because of what I told you earlier, and they're pulling your name out and they're hacking you. So here's some red flags, because I get a lot of weirdo requests. My friend request list is open. I do that for a reason, but because I don't care, I just delete all these requests that I get. You can close your friend request profile so that only friends of friends can request you. It doesn't stop them. They'll still do it because they may be a friend of a friend. Or you may tag friends, and if you tag friends, all of their friends can see your tag too. So they can still find you, but it's harder that way. So if you want to help yourself a little bit, make sure that only friends of friends can send you a request, or make it so nobody can send you a request. If you don't want to get friends that way, if you just want to make the request to people yourself, do it that way. But these are some highlights that you might want to jot down really quickly. I've got 14 of them. First, they have 0 or just a few mutual friends with you. Second, they have a picture of a puppy or a child in their profile or their cover picture. I have one here to show you. Here. This guy's name is Mark Ben. He's got a kid there in his profile. And you notice this is another one on the list. He's got 2 first names. 2 first names is a big hint, because that's what foreigners do. They think, let's use American names. They can't think of American last names, so they put 2 first names. Another way they'll do it is they'll put a last name, but they'll put it first. Smith, Jonathan. Robinson, Frank. Because in their country, the last names do come first. So that's what they do. So watch out for that. They'll send friend requests with the little kiddo or a puppy. Puppies are very popular, or kittens, because they want you to, they're trying to get women, and they think women like cuddly things. So I'd rather just give them, the knuckle. Also, notice where he's from. Dallas, Texas. They always say they're from a big city. Or they'll say they were from a big city and now they live in another big city. Sometimes they're from a big city overseas and now they're in a big city in the U.S. So they never are from just ordinary city. They're from LA or New York or Dallas or Chicago, because those are the cities that they've heard of. And that makes it weird. And notice this. He's widowed. They're always widowed. They're never divorced. They're always widowed. That wife died young. Why is that? There's no wife. So that's odd too. But they think that you're going to feel sorry for this poor widowed man with a cuddly little kid. Don't friend them. For the men, you're going to see men are going to get friended by, or try to get friended by, these hot babes with very little clothing on, and they're going to go after the older men, and they're going to look for single men, because they're going to think they're gullible enough to send them money, and they are. So don't send them money, don't friend them. And we joke. I have some men that are friends, and we'll send each other on Facebook, look who tried to friend me, and we laugh, because really, you should be past the point where you are fooled by this stuff. They'll say they went to an Ivy League college. Now, people do go to Ivy League colleges, but you're not going to see it that often where your friends went to Harvard or Yale or Princeton. But these guys always do. And they always have high-ranking jobs. They're military chiefs, of some high-ranking branch. Those guys have so much time to be on Facebook. For one thing, they're not supposed to be on social media because they have secret information, so they're banned from being on these things, but yet you'll see them with their bars and their uniforms. They're always in uniform because they think women like uniforms. So never friend a man in uniform on Facebook that has no friends in common with you, or very little, that has some high-ranking title. Now, if he's just wearing Army uniform and he's, your son's best friend in the military, that's different. Some of them have really weird titles. Some of these I kept because they're so hilarious. This one here, I'll show you that one in a minute. That comes later. This guy, who lives in Kabul, Afghanistan, and he's from Portland, Oregon, and he's widowed. And he's I'm looking at it backwards. He's a medical doctor in the U.S. Army Central, but he works at orthopedic surgeon, medical doctor. Now, an orthopedic surgeon is not going to say orthopedic surgeon, medical doctor as their job. They're just going to say orthopedic surgeon. And his name, of course, is Robert Graham. And if you look at that picture has made the rounds. This guy is a medical doctor all over Facebook. It cracks me up. And there's another one of him doing some kind of surgery. So you see a lot of doctors, and they think that women just are hot after doctors. Here's another guy with kind of two first names, James Benedict. He's a doctor too. He's looking at an x-ray there, and his little profile picture, he's laughing. And of course he trusts God. Trusting God was my only hope, which is not good English. They don't have good English. And he works as an orthopedic plastic surgeon doctor. Didn't know there was such a thing. I didn't know those bones needed plastic surgery. But that's what he does. And you will see, if you start scrolling through their comments and posts on their wall, the comments in response to their posts, you will see that they don't have hardly any comments. But if you scroll through the reactions, the likes or the hearts, they will be foreign. They will have funny names. And I say they're funny names. I don't care if that's politically incorrect. They are funny names. I can't pronounce them. So you know that they're not American or Canadian or even from the UK. They're just strange. And you should not be friends with them because they have nefarious reasons for wanting to friend you. So we have those. I don't know where I left off. Ivy League colleges. They're born overseas or in a major U.S. city. They live in another U.S. city. They're now widowed. The same picture is used in multiple profiles. On their little tags, I couldn't show any on there because of the size of the picture, but those little tags that say like to go hiking, camping, cooking, but they usually have, if they have them at all, they have lots of them. If they did all of those things, they wouldn't be able to breathe. And some of them have like skydiving and whitewater rafting, and they're 60 years old, and they don't do any of those things. But they want you to think that they're super athletic and that they want you to do these things with them because they want you to be 25 years old. But they're good things to laugh at. And in fact, we do have a group. I've got to revive it again. Carol, maybe you know what it is, but we should revive that group or create a new one about these people. Just so people can drop in the fake profiles and we can make it more noticeable so people can join and laugh. And also warn others, where we can say, go to the group and look, because here's another one. They had, like I said, they have some insane occupation. And if you scroll through the post, you see weird things. If you click on the three dots, there are some dots here on everybody's profile. Everybody has these dots. If you click on them, it takes you to another page. And it will ask you, do you want to report the profile? Do you want to block it? different things you can do. And if you go to the bottom of that, which is about halfway down, it says copy link. And there's their link. And everybody has a profile link. If it's an old profile, your link won't have your name even. It'll just have a long number. Doesn't mean anything. But if it's a newer profile, it'll have a name and a number after it. A short number like 27 or 3 or just a name. And if the name doesn't match the name on the profile, it was stolen or it was faked. Sometimes you'll see, like, I looked at one yesterday for someone who asked me to look up a profile. I'll have to tell her to watch this. And we found like 30 people with the same name, and they were numbered 2, 4, 7, all the way to 30. And the person had made 30 profiles of themselves. So they could, in case they lost some of them. And the reason they do this is because it looks like they created the profile a while ago. So they created these profiles in 2023. So as the years go by, the months and years, and they lose some of them because they get reported or they get taken down, whatever reason, they still have 23 left and they don't have to set up new ones. So they just have a whole bunch of them at once. So be careful when you go and look at that profile link that it matches the name. And that doesn't mean it's not fake, but that it matches the name, and there's not a whole lot of people by that name with numbers after it that go in a sequence, because that means it's been duplicated and it's just the same person. And you can tell too by looking at the profiles, are they the same? That, the same person will say the same things about themselves. So one other way, and a lot of you aren't going to like this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I always say this. Get rid of your Instagram accounts. They're the easiest thing to hack into. Facebook owns Instagram now, Meta. They haven't done hardly anything to improve the security of Instagram. That's where all your photos get stolen from, is Instagram. People will blatantly put your photo out on Facebook or anywhere else, and they steal them off Instagram. And they're not copyrighted. They can just steal them. They can steal anything you say anywhere. I have a publishing WordPress that I use if I want to put something out there that I want published, that if you take it, I'm going to go after you. But anything I put up, otherwise, I don't care if people share. People share my stuff all the time. I don't care. Because that's what Facebook is for, information sharing. If you think you're going to put something out there that you own, you're not. Write a book. Write a magazine article. But if you're going to put it out there on Instagram, people are going to take it if it looks anything decent. They're just going to take it. I've had friends who's had their pets put into calendars. Their pictures were taken off of group pages on Facebook, and they could do nothing about it because they put them there. So, what you want to do is watch out for these things that I've warned you about, and how you stop it. How can you help stop this stuff? Well, you can block the person. That's the end result. But what you need to do is go and look at the mutual friends. There's usually not many, 5 or 6 at the most. Once I saw 12. Go to the messenger of the first mutual friend you see on that request. Don't friend the person, but go to their messenger on the mutual friend and say, you are friends with a hacker. This person is not real. It's a fake profile. Please, for your own good, block this person and put the profile link in there or a screenshot of the person so they know who to block. Then copy your message that you send to that messenger and send it to all the other mutual friends that the person has. It takes 2 minutes. Every time I do that, everybody I send it to thanks me and gets rid of that person. They block them. And what's good about that is you are decreasing the risk on Facebook every time somebody blocks that person. You are decreasing the number of friends that person has, and you're making it harder for them to hack anybody. And the next time that person or anyone else tries to friend that mutual friend with yours, they're going to know better. They better know better. Now that the election's coming, you're going to see a lot more of this stuff happening. A lot more. because they know during election time that Facebook communications ramp up. So you need to not only protect yourself, but protect all your mutual friends, because at one point or another, everybody's gullible. So let's stop people from being gullible and stop that from happening. If you notice there's more than a dozen friends and you have an orthopedic surgeon, plastic surgeon, doctor, airplane pilot, whatever guy, there's a problem. If he's got like 30 friends, it could be that he took over a profile and changed the name and changed everything. But you still have to warn as many as you can. It's the right thing to do. If it's a lot of people, put it on your wall. This is a fake account. If you're friends with this person, dump them. Just put a screenshot up. And make sure that it's friends only. Don't make it a public shot, because the guy will see it. Or he might see it. So make sure you do that. Remove all hacker type accounts from your profile. If you see these weird accounts in your own friend directory, get rid of them. It would only make sense. Get rid of them. And if you have more than 3,000 or 4,000 friends, you're going to have these hacker accounts in your friend directory. You are. And with the presidential election, like I said, coming up, you're going to have people that are going to be gung-ho for the person that you're going to vote for, sending you friend requests. And that's going to be on their profile. And you say, oh, another blah, blah, blah supporter. I'm going to friend that person. Yeah, I'm down there. No, better check them. Better check that that's who they are and that they live in the U.S. Because people shouldn't be gung-ho presidential supporters if they don't live here. Canada, okay. But otherwise, I don't know. I think I've covered all that. Okay, now 2 other things real quick before we end. And I go to my last thing. There are 2 new things that hackers are trying. AI accounts. This is an AI account. Tulip Bee Daisy Bee is, you can see the profile is AI generated. And so is the cover picture. It's supposed to be Jesus. Nobody knows what Jesus looks like. So, lives in Richmond, Virginia, from Buffalo, New York, 2 places where people wouldn't really normally say. There are no friends shown. All the friends are blocked from your view. The About section, if you could see it and open it, is all blank. Workplaces, none shown. Education, none shown. I communicated, quote unquote, with this person in a group. It only posts AI. So if you read an AI comment or post, it sounds fake. It could be true or it could be false information. But regardless, it's not a human being that's making the information it put out there. It's computer-generated information. And depending on how that computer was programmed, it's going to put out the information that the person who set up the whole thing wants. And they just let it run free. They don't have anything to do with it once it's out there. So I found this particular AI in several groups, and I reported it to the admins, and I made posts about it and told the people, you need to not be friends with this because it's not a person. It's an AI. And instead of having to worry about it, the AI profile left all the groups that I reported it in as a post. So don't be afraid of AI. It's nothing to be worried about. The people behind this stuff, they're scared of being recognized as a real person, so they're faking it. It's almost the same thing as people who post anonymously constantly. Now, there's some reasons for some people to post anonymously in the group if they have a situation that's private and they want to ask questions about it, but they don't want people to know who they are. That's different. But if they're constantly want to hide behind something and push their agenda, but hide, that's going to be the future. That's AI. Those are fake profiles. Do not friend them and do not engage them. Block them and tell others to block them. Lastly, locked profile. Locked his profile. Washed clay. Now, not all profiles that are locked have no picture and no background picture, but some do. So this guy has no about information. He's locked his profile. There's no pictures and there's no posts that you can ever see. I don't think, and you can let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't think in the United States you're allowed to lock a profile. The only reason to lock a profile is if you don't want anybody to see anything. And if you don't want anybody to see your pictures or your posts, you can lock them privately so that people can go on and just see a profile and nothing underneath. You can do that. So I don't know why anyone would lock a profile. It doesn't make any sense. This person, I did talk to this person in Messenger, which is hilarious. But he said he locked his profile because he didn't want anybody except his family to see his photos. Well, you can make your photos that way so only your family can see them. So he lied. But he lives in another country. It's not a third world country. And what happened was I got into an argument with him in a group because he wouldn't reveal who he was. And I challenged him. You're a coward. Tell me who you are. And I blocked him eventually because it got nasty. And he sent me a private message. He didn't realize that I knew immediately who it was, this locked guy. And he sent it to me under his real name. And it said on there, this person is not connected on Facebook, this messenger. So I said, you're Wash Clay. I know who you are. And he had deleted whatever he sent me in Messenger, and that way I couldn't report it because it was probably nasty. So back into the group, I put up a post after I blocked him as Wash Clay and found out that he also had a profile under his real name that wasn't the same thing he messaged me on, if you're following this at all. I posted that so-and-so was also Wash Clay. And now everybody knows who Wash Clay is. So Stupid comes after me in the post under his real name and says, well, I had reasons for doing that. But anyway, everybody now knew who he was. So I think he set up everything all new all over again. But paranoid people, don't be friends with them. If you run into a locked profile, they're just stupid. And their chances are they're not in the United States or Canada or the UK. They're hiding somewhere else and they have a nefarious reason for doing it. Maybe the debt collectors are after them. I don't know, but you shouldn't be friends with a locked profile. And you shouldn't lock yours. There's no reason to lock your profile. So that wraps up, including the 2 new ideas. Don't friend locked profiles. Don't friend AI profiles. And one last thing that happened to me today that all of you are getting are these things from not the post office, but these fake texts that act like they're from the post office, that a package has arrived in the warehouse and they can't deliver it because your address is not complete. Do not answer these, delete them. It's not the post office. The post office is not going to text you. This is from Felix. 99825@something.com. It's not from the post office. The UPS will do that too, but it's not UPS. Nobody has a post office package for you that they're going to text you about. Nobody has a FedEx. Nobody has a UPS. Your bank has nothing for you that they're going to text you about. It does not happen. You might get an email that you can try and verify, but that can be fake too. So the best thing to do is, if you're unsure, to call. And they'll tell you right out that they didn't do it. So, final plug. My new book just came out, Lawman of New Hanover County. It's about my friend Mark Vincent, who just retired a few years ago, I think 2019, as the captain of the jail here in New Hanover County. It's not just about that, because he also did a lot of other things in the patrol car, such as deadbeat dad stuff, going after renters who were delinquent, chasing people on foot, lots of things. The whole story is in here. There's photos of the jail. I went to the jail. And they're funny, they're weird, but it goes behind the scenes in law enforcement and gives you a lot of information that you wouldn't get just on TV. So we sat down together and we put this together, and we put as much into it as we could. A lot of stuff we couldn't because legally it wouldn't have been good. But it's endorsed by our sheriff, Ed McMahon, in the county. I put up on my Facebook wall a picture of us with Sheriff McMahon. The book is on Amazon for $22. I sell it on my website for $20 with no shipping. If you just say no shipping, even though it will add shipping, I will take the shipping off. And that's brand new. And if you order it from me on the website, you will get a free Too Brief a Candle, which happened during the Casey Anthony trial. It's normally $16.95. Both from me or on Amazon. The jury was picked in the same courtroom. It's a situation that was really sad about a child that died as a result of misconduct in a daycare. And I knew the family this happened to. So this, for till the end of January, is free if you order this one. And it will do not order this one on my website, JaniceBarlow.com. I will automatically send it to you if you order this one. If you order this one, it's going to charge you. I also bought a book on COVID. What happened in America with COVID. Book about the Greyhound. My heart dog, Daisy. A lot of people know about this book. It's got 25 photos of Daisy. I have a color and a black and white edition. And I miss Daisy. I have these two. The Last Bloodline and The Stars of Heaven Fell go together. This is a pandemic thriller, kind of graphic. This is an end times thriller that wraps up this one, and this is very graphic if you like graphic novels. And finally, I'm working on a series. Oh, we forgot one. Get carried away. This is about a friend of mine who should be dead. He may be watching this. Harry Haskins. He's been through a lot of stuff. Very high risk-taking man. He's still alive. And his brother and sister-in-law were brutally murdered by their daughter's boyfriend. But he is still alive, and it tells the whole story of what he's gone through as well as that murder. Bad murder. These books are part of a series I'm writing. Number 4 is at the publisher, should be out in about 3 weeks. These are Dr. Anna Cassini novels. These are my favorite things that I'm working on. And Dr. Anna Cassini is a dysfunctional pathologist who does autopsies. And in the process of doing these things, she discovers crimes. And each book is a different crime that's being solved. However, her love life, which is a mess, goes through all of the books. And they're just fun to write because I can make it all up as I go along. And there's going to be 10 altogether. So all of those are on my website. And if you take a look there, they're also all on Amazon. The older ones are under J.M. Barlow, and the newer stuff's under Janice Barlow, which is most of them. Most of them are newer. So I appreciate your listening today. And as usual, I am right on time. I try to get done in under 45 minutes, and I'm at 43. So thank you for listening and watching. And I'm sorry I couldn't go live on Facebook like I wanted to, but I don't know why they won't let me. It's not unusual for the way they're acting. So I will go and drop this on Facebook now. And any questions you have, put in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer you. See you next time. Bye.